Welcome back to another Crypto Cruise. Today I'll reflect upon what happened last week with Bitcoin and crypto while driving a new 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe. All right, so first things first, what's going on with Bitcoin and crypto markets overall? Well, we are in September. We're finally through the first week of September, and historically speaking, September is the absolute worst month for Bitcoin and crypto. Not only that, it's the worst month for stocks too. I didn't know that until recently, but yes, September's just not a good month. It's just not. But you know what follows a bad month, a historically bad month? A historically good month. So October is, if you look at the history, October is the best month for Bitcoin crypto. I don't know about stocks, but also correlates with what I've been sharing with you guys. If you look at the halving events, the halving years in particular, when does Bitcoin usually actually break out and break the previous high from the prior years? It's usually October, November timeframe. It's no coincidence, right? And every single time it repeats this pattern over and over and over again. So I'm looking forward to October. I think October will jumpstart us. However, I'm still clinging on hope that September is going to be different, and here's why. Because we know a Fed rate cut is coming. We haven't had that for 4 years. We could go all the way back to 2020. We haven't had any cuts since 2020. You know why? Because since 2020, we've been going up. The money printer was happening. You know, the money printer was on 24/7. We were printing left and right, and Powell had to raise rates nonstop, historically fast for the last 4 years. So it makes sense if you think about it. Last four years, especially for September, hasn't really done well because he was still raising rates every single year. But this is the year where he stops. He starts cutting rates. Okay, and we will go reverse. We're going to go probably back to zero because that's what's needed, because the economy is just not doing that well. So I'm still clinging on hope that this is going to be different. We got a couple weeks left to go before that very important FOMC meeting. Right now, you guys know, a lot of you guys know that I'm looking at CME tracking, the percentage tracker thing, and you know, it bounces with every single economic data we get. And, you know, this week was mixed. So the jobs report was underwhelming yesterday. Unemployment, however, didn't go up. It went down. So it was kind of mixed. And we start out the day with the 50 basis point percentage jumping to like 55%. Now I checked, it's down to 30%. So it's wonky. Wall Street does not know. Wall Street is just guessing at this point. I actually don't know how the CME prediction tool even works. Like, who are they asking? Random Joes off the street or influential Wall Street people? I have no idea within CME, or just analysts within CME. I don't know. But you know what? I guess we'll have to wait and see. You guys know I will always be bullish, because I've been in this cycle way too long, far too long, to be panicking over little dips here or there, right? And I've said this too. Our fear level has dropped to an extreme fear level that we haven't seen since the lows of 2022, 2023, right? The market somehow got really bearish, really scary, because yes, we have come down, right? We have come down from our top of 73,000. But let's not forget, we hit 70,000 plus many times already. Way more than expected. And things flip on a dime, like sentiment and price action. We have seen Bitcoin go up straight to 70,000 and then come right back down to 50,000 several times now, right? So you don't want to lose hope. You don't want to lose out on your life-changing wealth especially not to BlackRock. You don't want to sell your Bitcoin to the likes of BlackRock. They already have enough. They will get more. You don't want to give them everything. No, you want to save some for yourself. And it's not just with Bitcoin, with crypto too. A lot of crypto dumped this last week, right? One of my favorites, of course, Solana dumped to the 120s. Same deal with Cardano, with ETH, with Avalanche, with BNB, with Stacks, with Jupiter, with Ton. Like, some of our favorite L1, L2s have dumped dramatically this last week. But have we seen this before? Yes, of course we have. If you go back a month, you look at August, hey, we had several dips. We had one that brought us to 49,000. The one yesterday brought us to about 52.5 before we bounced. So we have seen this before. It's not like this is completely new. And what happened after those dips, we came right back up. Ultimately, what you want to focus on is we're just going sideways. We've been going sideways since March, right? And that's a long time to be going sideways. And I know it's frustrating, because all of a sudden now we're getting a lot of manipulation. We're seeing a price action just dump or pump, but mostly dumping recently out of the blue, makes no reason, no sense whatsoever. And then, you know what happens is we reverse, right? So that's all. You just gotta stay focused, okay? This next event that's coming up in 2 weeks, I think will be very important. But also, what was important is last week came out of Japan. The governor of Bank of Japan said that, hey, if things are working, they will raise more rates. So this carry trade thing continues to be an issue. The first time I mentioned when Bitcoin fell to 49,000 was when Japan raised their rates, right? And you may be wondering, well, why are they raising rates when everyone else is talking about cutting? Because their stupid policy that they held for 8 years. This negative zero interest rate policy they had for 8 years. They decided to change it, and now everyone, all those greedy Wall Street types that took advantage, now they're figuring out ways to pay back their loans because they don't want to go in the red, right? So last week, I think it was like Tuesday or something, the governor said, hey, if the yen is going to continue to gain strength against the dollar, we're just going to keep on raising rates. That's ultimately what he said. So that also started making Bitcoin go down. It does seem like a lot of people may have borrowed money from Japan and used that to buy Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the fastest moving asset we have, right? So that could have been the case. That could have been the case. But anyways, this carry trade thing continues to be worrisome, although the impact was a little bit less with this recent announcement, but that's because they didn't do it yet. If they continue to do so, then it may cause more turbulence in the broader market. But you know, Japan is very conservative, so I don't think they're going to be like Powell and just go from negative interest rate to like 5%. That would absolutely destroy their economy, and that's the last thing they want, right? So I don't think that is going to happen. But, you know, we gotta keep our eyes open for that, because that will continue to be a worrying thing. But long term, everything that's happening on a global scale, on a macro scale, right? These are important factors. I've never concentrated on them in previous cycles, but I am now, because they're important. But does that stop? Do any of these things stop Bitcoin in its tracks and move it away from what it's intended to do? The answer is no. Okay, just imagine, even in 2020, a lot of you guys lived through this during the COVID crash, right? With COVID, with the shutdowns, with panic, even with all that was the worst in history. We never seen that before. A mandatory shutdown of businesses and people needing to quarantine and stay at home for what, years? We've never seen that before, and yet the economy still pulled back. And even when Bitcoin, we saw Bitcoin fall to 3,800 during that period, guess what? even then, we rallied at the end of 2020 and rallied some more in 2021 and went from 3,800 to 69,000, right? So if you're thinking like all the stuff that I'm talking about is going to disrupt Bitcoin and cycle this thing again, Bitcoin cannot be stopped. Just like no one can shut it down now, right? No one even talking about it because it's pointless to go down that avenue. So this is all a distraction long term. So continue to stay strong and focus on the future. This month have just started, but we're a week in. We got a couple more weeks left until the Fed rate cut, and we'll see what happens. So I think October, November, December are going to be absolutely fantastic. We will see Bitcoin at a new high. We will see Bitcoin in six figures, and that will carry us into 2025. Don't have to wait that much longer. All right. Outside of this, let's talk about this new Santa Fe. This 2025 Santa Fe, actually it's a 2024, but 2025 is identical, so I'm just going to say it's a 2025. I think I read the only difference between 2025 and 2024 is a color change, but that's it. But this Santa Fe, I gotta say, I was driving it a bit yesterday and today. I am super impressed with this. If you are looking for a nice mid-size SUV with a third row, optional for emergencies, this is definitely a contender. This is definitely a contender. I've driven the previous one, the 2023 one. It looks okay, but it didn't drive all that great. It's okay. I take it back. It was okay, but it felt a little small, a little dated. Santa Fe changed things with this, or Honda changed things with this new Santa Fe. Starting with the looks, it looks like a concept car. It's like a very futuristic, boxy look now. On paper, it looks great. In person, questionable. There are certain angles that just look wrong to me, but for the most part, it's different, and that's what Hyundai was going for. It looks like nothing else on the road. You're going to get stares, whether they're good or bad, but I like how Hyundai is trying to push the envelope a little bit just to see how it would do. But yeah, the outside is polarizing, right? It has this really boxy look, large wheels. If you get the calligraphy, the top trim, you get 21-inch wheels. You got really big windows, great visibility inside, and on top of the polarizing looks, you get more room. The Santa Fe is bigger. It's like 2 inches longer. Wheelbase stretches by 2 inches. The height is 2 inches taller. The width is about the same, but when you're inside, this definitely feels like a mid-size SUV. It feels like a mid-size SUV, yet it sits lower. So this is actually good for those of you guys that are shorter or older. And I know this because, you know, like my mom, and especially my grandmother, they have a hard time getting into the taller SUVs. They would not have any problems with this one. This is actually really easy to get into. But once you get in, you're still sitting at an elevated height. Great visibility, like I said. It still feels like a mid-size SUV because you get loads of headroom and shoulder room, and hip room isn't bad. So this is a nice size mid-size SUV. Now, it is smaller than the Palisade, so there is a difference there. The Palisade still sits higher, it's longer, it's wider. It just feels huge inside the Palisade. This feels like a good size, much easier to park, much easier to get around, and so forth, right? So besides the looks, the inside looks great too, really updated. It actually looks like a Land Rover in here. I don't know if Hyundai stole some Land Rover engineers or designers, but inside feels really good. You got 2 large screens now. The steering wheel actually looks like it's straight out of a Land Rover. You have this floating center console design, which is great for storage. You have 2 wireless chargers. I don't know why manufacturers are so stingy on wireless chargers, but yes, you get 2 in here, just like Tesla's, but no one else has it. right? You got large touch screens. You got on a higher trims, you have a digital rearview mirror. I mean, you get all the technology in here. Blind spot monitoring. Not only that, there's cameras to show you what's in your blind spot when you make a turn signal. You got a lot of cubby holes, a lot of storage area. Like I said, it's nice in here. It's nice. It actually feels like a Land Rover. Like, there's no Hyundai. Actually, I don't think it's a coincidence, but there's no Hyundai badges in here. There's no Santa Fe badges in here. So if you just took a picture of the interior, like you guys look at this video, you would think this is like a new Land Rover. Like, it really does feel like it. Hyundai did an excellent job, and also makes you feel that way because it's really quiet in here, super quiet, and it's super comfortable too. I mean, this is not even like a Genesis. This could easily be a Genesis. The seats look absolutely beautiful. The white leather. Look at the stitching. They feel fantastic. First row, second row, awesome. Heated and ventilated seats. Second row passenger gets heated seats. Third row is very small. It's really small for emergencies for kids, but at least you have them. And if you don't, you just fold them down. That's it. And you get more cargo room. But the seats are beautiful and they're super comfortable. And it's just, they're really nice. They're really nice. And on top of that, the ride quality is amazing. This one I'm driving, I think, to have 20-inch wheels, and it's super comfortable in here. It's way more comfortable than you would expect inside a Santa Fe. Okay, so I'm super impressed. The only negative thing I could point out is the outside. It looks kind of strange. It has a presence, but like the back end looks really strange. And some parts of this kind of look like a minivan, especially on the side view, and the back angle looks really weird. But you know, the front is okay. So I would say the only thing I could really nitpick on with this car is the looks. If you like the looks, great. If you don't, it's hard to overcome. It's just very polarizing, very different than all the other cars in this category, right? But anyways, if you want to check out the full review, I did say a lot, but there's a lot more to this car. The full review will be coming up on Drivers Only soon, next week. So, but yeah, I'm super impressed, man. Even the headliner is just like soft, like Alcantara material. It's not Alcantara, but it's just like, it's a really soft material. You got dual sunroofs in here. In a mid-size SUV, normally, you know, like the luxury ones, you have like a big panoramic one or a single one. This one actually has dual sunroofs. You don't see that a lot in a class like this. Again, Hyundai gives you a lot. Hyundai gives you so much, in fact. I don't even see the point of Genesis. Like, I really don't. Because this really, the fully loaded Santa Fe inside looks like a Land Rover, and it drives like a Land Rover, and you know, like, I don't even know why you would need a Genesis. Okay guys, that's it for this review, and that's it for this Crypto Cruise. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys, well, stay tuned for my Sunday walk video tomorrow, and then I'll see you guys on Monday. All right, same time as usual. Take care. Bye-bye.